Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Nivat. I'm the head of office at the Tembisa local office. Today I'm joining you as part of the campaign against violence or against women and gender-based violence. And today we're talking specifically about the rights or who has the duty to protect children. So there can be two categories, if I can put it like that. The one is what we call caregivers, and the other category will be called parents. Now, a caregiver is somebody that has a specific meaning in terms of the Children's Act. It would be a foster parent, a person that you leave your child with by agreement, a temporary safe care person, a person that's the head of a children's home, a head of a shelter, a community worker, and even a child that is part of a child-headed household. So maybe just as an explanation, a child-headed household, so if there's more than one child and one is a major and others are minors, and say the parents have passed away, then the Children's Act makes provision for it that you can appoint a child to look after the rest of his or her siblings. So that child will then be sort of in the place of a caregiver, and that child has the same duty to protect his or her siblings as would a parent have. So a parent, if you look at the Children's Act, has a parental rights and responsibilities. So parental rights responsibilities in terms of the Act consists of 4 things: care, contact, maintenance, and guardianship. So when we talk about protection, it will come under the heading of care. The Children's Act again has a definition of care. Care is to provide a place to stay. Now, in terms of protection, you would think that's important because providing a house or a place, I think we tend to think about a house as being a brick and mortar, but that's not true. I mean, a place is also an informal place. That's also a place to stay. It must be a place for the child to live. But that must be conditions that is to the benefit of the child's health, well-being, and development. So, yes, a house, but it also must be conducive for the child's well-being. And again, in today's society, I think, unfortunately, that place to stay will have to be a secure place. It will be that something that can be locked, maybe, you protect the child against the dangers of society. So that's part of the protection. To provide the child with the necessary financial support. Again, a child is protected and nurtured if there is some kind of financial support. Again, I don't think the Act doesn't say luxurious support. It says necessary financial support. So if the household consists of child grants or old age grant, and you can provide in the child's needs, that's what the Act says. You must protect the child. So specifically care in terms of the Act says you must protect the child. And if you think about protect, it is physically protecting the child from harm. So as a parent, you have a duty to protect the child. You must also promote and respect the child's rights. I think there it becomes a child's right. Nowadays we talk about bullying at school. Would that not be a parent's responsibility to say, well, a child has a right to a dignity? So if the child is being bullied at school, would that mean now you would, as a parent, would say, well, I need to protect my child's dignity? Because in terms of the Bill of Rights, he has a right to a name, he has a right to dignity. So as a parent, you must protect your child's dignity and its rights in terms of the Bill of Rights. Then also guide the child's behavior. Again, your responsibility is also towards your own child, but also for your child towards other children. Again, if I come back to bullying at school, the children nowadays at school are very nasty with each other, which again, for me, goes to protection of children. We must unfortunately also protect them against themselves. So the care for a parent includes the guiding the behavior of your child, also to respect the other children. And then also accommodate any special needs of your child. That's part of also your care and part of protecting your child. I think unfortunately in our society today, that is something that's very difficult. I think the Minister of Education or the MSc of Education says that they are still behind in Gauteng alone in opening schools for special needs children. But again, as a parent, your responsibility is to protect your child. If he has a special needs, then you must do the necessary to protect the child. I think it's easy for us to say, we're sitting here and to say, yeah, you must protect your child, but it comes back to using the resources that are out there. That's why there are social workers. A lot of times I think parents have, or caregivers have there's a negative connectivity to social workers. You know, the social worker is going to take away my child. But that's not true. Even if you look at the Children's Act, the social worker's first duty is to protect and maintain, to do early intervention, to protect the family system than just remove your child. I came back from earlier what I was talking about in terms of what do you now do if you know that there is something is happening with your child. The Children's Act places a duty on you as a parent or the school teacher or the social worker. If you are aware of an abuse or a neglect, the Children's Act places a duty on you to report that either to police or to another social worker, to say, please investigate, please intervene into what is happening with the child. A lot of times the people are afraid because they say, but if I'm the school teacher and I open my mouth and I go and report a child that's being abused, I'm going to be in trouble. But the Children's Act has a section that protects you. They say that if you truly believe that what you are reporting is true, nobody can turn around and say, but you are doing it to make or to infringe on my reputation as a parent. But there must be grounds for it. So that fear of speaking out, if it comes to the protection of the child, I think our duty to protect the child is larger than just our fear for our good name. So school teachers, in terms of bullying, in terms of neglect, and I find that in terms of the protection of our children, the school teachers are the most important, because they are the ones that see the children, and I'm going to say almost unprotected, or that's not the right word that I'm looking for, but at their most vulnerable, because when they go to school, they don't have to keep up the pretense. They can be more free, and they are usually then will be easier talk and say to the teacher, but you know, this one is hitting me, or I'm hungry, or so the school teachers really are very important in terms of protecting the children, and just also helping the parents to protect their children. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to contact us via Facebook and leave your questions there. We will make sure that we answer them and get back to you. Also, if you have a more immediate question and you can't want to post it maybe on a social platform, or you can also call our advice line, which is toll free. It's 0800 11 and they are open 7 in the mornings to 7 in the night. And also they have a please call me function, so if you don't have money to call them, you can please send them a please call me, and that number is 079 835 7179. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good day.